मेधां मे इन्द्रो ददातु मेधां देवी सरस्वती मेधां मे अश्विनावुभौ आधत्तां पुष्करस्रजाः आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षु श्रोत्रमधो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोतु अनिराकरणमस्तु तदात्मनि निरते य उपनिषत्सु धर्माः तीमयि सन्तु ओम शांति 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 ही। Hearty fraternal greetings and good wishes to all the brothers and sisters who are gathered by the will of the Master to listen to the Saturday teaching, which is dedicated to the Festival of Solstice. Since many years, we have been gathering for the solstice in one part of Europe or the other. Many times the importance of the Festival of Solstice is expressed, since it is a festival of the meeting of the sun with the moon. It has to be recollected so that we renew our energies to progress on the path. Just a small story of solstice I sent to you all, which contain about 5 steps. I hope you all have received it. Nevertheless, I recite them and I explain them to you all. Not that you do not know, but that we recollect, remind ourselves, thereby recharge ourselves and move forward. The first stanza that I have written in this story is Punarvasu, 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 cried the aspirants and disciples. Punarvasu, Punarvasu and Punarvasu cried the aspirants and the disciples. The solar angel Ra condescends, joins Ma to the delight of them. Planet renews vibrations yearly. Rama, 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 Rama. This is how I have conceived the event of the solstice. Punarvasu is the 7th constellation of the 27 constellations that we have. Punarvasu means to come down again, to live with us. The solar angel annually enters in Aries. Each year is different from Aries to Pisces. Every year has its characteristics. The year that we run now is what is called Plava. It means it does a lot of cultivation within us and on the planet to bring forth better things that are hidden in us and in the planet. The solar angel that enters the year, it does so in the month of Aries. That's why we celebrate the new year in the month of Aries. New Year is not 1st January as we all know. It is 21st March and around. With the beginning of Aries there is a new year, which is marked with the sun's entry into Aries. Sun in Aries is exalted. The sound for sun in Aries is what we call Ra. Before these Kali religions have come through, before that, all theologies considered sun as God, and they named sun as Ra. Be it in the eastern or western hemispheres, sun is called Ra, R-A or R-H-A. So when the solar angel enters Aries, it is called Ra. And he travels through 1/4 of the year and gets into Cancer. That is what is called Ra entering the mansion of Ma. Entering the mansion of Ma. Ma stands for mother, Ma stands for matter, Ma stands for Mata, Ma stands for Maria. All that sounds with Ma relates to nature. So when the solar angel joins the moon's mansion, it is a celebration. That is what is called Rama. Rama is not a religious sound as is understood, because the religions came much later in Kali Yuga. Before that, wisdom prevailed. The sound Rama is as old as the creation itself. Ra stands for the Lord, Ma stands for the mother. One is the male principle, other is the female principle. It's always the male principle that joins the female principle to cause creation. It's not the other way. It's not the female principle meets the male principle. It's for the male principle to come and join the female principle. The female principle waits for the male principle to join. The female principle, if it is really a female principle, it waits for the male principle to join. The female has the ability to wait. The female is not proactive. Male is proactive. So male joining the female in a solar year is celebrated with the sun's entry into Cancer, which we mark as a solstice, and we call it summer solstice. In India it is called Dakshinayana. Dakshinayana means coming towards south. From the forehead, which is east, the principle joins the heart, which is south. I do not wish to go too far back into the wisdom, but it is enough that we know it's a festival of Rama in the sense. Ra is the solar angel. He is a descent of an avatar. As Rama, he came, he took birth in Aries. That's a different story. Even before the avatar came, there was the creation. In that creation, the Veda explains the story that the solar angel meets its female principle in Cancer to enable incarnation of souls, and then later the story of the souls finding their expression. From Cancer to Capricorn, the solar angel walks along with the lunar principle, where the beings, they take to their incarnations, make their journey. And in Capricorn, again, the 10th house, as he completes Capricorn, he moves into the sky in Aquarius. And the female principle which joined the male principle in Cancer, in so far as it has the ability to associate with the male principle, it will also join the sky and move forward towards Aries. So each time when the solar principle descends, for 6 months he walks a path which is called royal path. In that path, from Cancer to Capricorn, all those who relate to the soul, they are carried on. And in Capricorn, what happens? They ascend the mount. After ascending the mount, further ascent is only possible in association with the soul in Aquarius, because there is no ground to ascend. It's moving into the sky, which Aquarius represents. So every time the sun comes in Aries, he joins the souls in Cancer, travels with the souls up to Capricorn, and those who are ready to associate with the soul, he causes the ascent from Aquarius to Aries, where there is a Passover. This is how you have to understand the 4 dimensions of the solar year, not counting by our calendar months. That there are 4 steps for the solar angel. He descends in Aries in the constellation Ashwini. When he reaches the 7th constellation, that 7th constellation is called Punarvasu. Vasu means to reside. Vasa, like that. Punarvasu means come back to reside with you again. Come back to reside with you again. What for? We cried. We, the mundane beings, we cry. We cry, Punarvasu, 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 cried the aspirants. Please come down, please come down, please come down. In India, people cry for Rama to come down, for Krishna to come down. The Buddhists cry for Buddha to come down. The Christians cry for reappearance of Christ. All that is nothing but descent of the energy from higher circles into our Cancer center, which is the heart center. What for? For us to find a way to move on, to experience, and move with him, along with him into lighter regions. That's the purpose of this festival. So we cry. The solar angel Ra, see the angel, the soul, the what we call the central sun, is full of love and compassion. When you cry, he comes down. That's how avatars happen. That's how grand teachers happen. Only when there is a huge cry, it's okay, let me go again. Try to help them. They know that in spite of their support, not all can accompany them. But still they are crying, so let's go. So an avatar comes, or a semi-avatar comes, they send their agents, all kinds of things from higher circles they do. But in the annual story, in the story of the solar year, this solstice is of great importance. He comes down to stay with you and is therefore called your teacher. He is at the head, you are in the heart. You pray for him to come down, he comes down to your heart. Sun entry into Cancer is a great festival, that he comes home, to your home. He comes, it's not that we go to his house, we get burnt up. There was a question in the morning by a friend who said that the moon does not move towards the sun in a horoscope. Only the sun has to move towards the moon. That should be the way. It's good that the sunlight comes us and lifts us up than our going to the sun straight away to burn up. So the entry of sun into Cancer is the entry of the soul into regions of personality, into the chambers of the heart, and we are supposed to associate with him. Association, the formula is simple. Soham. Soham is the formula by which you can regularly relate the two principles in you. So out of love and compassion, Ra condescends to join Ma. Both are delighted. Both are delighted. Because the matter also emerged from the same source. And then the spirit also comes down from the same source. They are delighted. This is what is expressed symbolically in the story of Ramayana. Rama comes to Mithila to join Sita. That should be the natural way of happening. Krishna comes where Rukmini was there and picks her up. Man should find his lady and pick her up. It's not that woman try to search for a man. The woman should have the ability to wait for the man to come and fetch her up. So that's how the ancient stories run, that the male principle should come, pick up the female principle. In India, marriages are also done like that. What is important is, you sit in your heart center. You wait there. All stories are occult stories, while they are all also explained exoterically. In our story of Damayanti also, Damayanti waits, let Nala come and pick her up. In Ramayana, Rama comes to pick Sita from Mithila. In Bhagavata, Krishna goes to kidnap his lady. All stories those are all natural stories. It's not that a woman goes to kidnap a man. It's not natural. That's why in horoscopes also we find that sun moving towards moon is a better situation than moon moving towards the sun. It's a different dimension. So the beings always look for descent of the soul or the master in them. He is already here. He has to come, reach me, lead me back to him. He can lead back through a reverse wheel from Cancer to Aries. The path from Cancer to Aries is a reverse wheel. The path from Cancer via Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces is the regular wheel. So the beings go through these from Cancer to Capricorn. For 6 months it is called the royal path. From Capricorn again to Cancer, the path is called the divine path. The royal path is called the royal arch. The divine path is called the divine arch. You know, in your theologies that Emperor Seth has built an arch upon two tall pillars of Gemini, indicative of divine arch. We said divine arches against the divine people, meaning they can walk through the divine path also. Then there is the royal path, a royal arch. So there is a divine arch, there is a royal arch, which are also called divine path and royal path. Together makes it a complete experience. The souls descend to experience all the dimensions that exist with the 6 centers in us, represented by 6 planets. So we go through all the planetary travel experience, then reach the sun. By that you are fulfilled. So this is the story conceived in the Veda in relation to the cardinal cross. We are now working with the fixed cross. We are, as disciples, are working with the fixed cross. But the Veda gives the cardinal cross, which is the ultimate. So the first stanza, just for the sake of the groups who wanted that I should say something about solstice. In the morning I thought a week ago, and then these thoughts came, just to poet, a kind of a semi-poetry and a semi-prose, some kind of hodgepodge. Punarvasu, 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 cried the aspirants, and the disciples also cry. The masters also participate. The solar angel Ra condescended. He condescends. It is his nature, because he is full of love and compassion. He joined Ma to the delight of all of them. That is what happens on 21st January, morning hours, according to your time, you can look to, you can relate from Ajna to heart and experience the joining of the solar energy up to your heart center by a golden thread or semi-golden, semi-silver thread. The visualization is your job. Let the energy join you. So they all said, the planet itself gets vibrated. Please note, not only for our sake, for the sake of the planet itself, the solar angel comes down. Therefore, planet renews, and the vibrations step up yearly, and the planet itself sounds forth Rama, 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 Rama. This Punarvasu constellation is in the first 4 degrees of Cancer. Please remember. A constellation is of 13 degrees 20 minutes, of which only last part of Punarvasu, which is called the 4th Pada, 4th division, is in Cancer. 3 divisions are in Gemini. 3 divisions are in Gemini. 4th division is in Cancer. So in that division, the solstice happens where we can have this experience. And surely every year in the constellation of Punarvasu this happens, in the 4th part of the constellation. You can make note of the days and accordingly relate to them. That's why there are people who relate to the solstice for 4 days, for 5 days, for 3 days, for 2 days, for 1 day, or for one meditation, just to finish a formality. It all depends on one's own aspiration. So that is how the happening is every time. Sun joining Cancer is a great event which we have to relate to. Energies from Agnya to heart are poured down. That's why when it happens normally on planet, there would be some scattered rains here and there. Scattered rains. Some drizzle, not a tufan or a cyclone. Some welcoming drizzle happens, which is also a blessing. Clouds happen at that time. The clouds also happen. All this drama of the universe or our planet is conceived mostly in that belt which we call, which exists between Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn, that belt. Tropic of Cancer, Equator, Tropic of Capricorn. In that belt, which is called the tropical belt, all the seasons are conceived, all time cycles are conceived, and the secrets are also described in relation to that. So when we speak of wisdom, we are only speaking mostly of what is happening around this tropical belt. And you can make your own adjustments according to your locations. So therefore, it's a great star, Punarvasu. It is a star of love and compassion. And the story of Rama is full of love and compassion. I am not leading you to the story of Ramayana, please remember. I am leading you to an event that happens every year with us. Around the solstice, where the solar angel joins the lunar mansion. Why? Because Cancer is the house of moon. So the soul in us meets the mind in us, which is oriented to the soul. Only when the mind is oriented to the soul and it keeps on crying. We cry in so many ways. All our prayers are nothing but our loud cry. We keep on crying. When do you come? When do you come? When do you come? When do you come? Because we can't reach him. He can come, he can accompany us, he can cause the needed adjustments in us, and he can lead us beyond the royal arch into the divine arch. That's where you have another festival, which is Capricorn festival. Capricorn festival, which happens in the constellations of Ashadha. There are 2 Ashadha nakshatras. Punarvasu brings down. Ashadhas cause upward movement. Sravanam, you are able to reach the air. Dhanishta, you go beyond. That's how these constellations are all named. The theme of constellations may generally be known, and it can be known through zodiac signs also. Cancer to Capricorn is the movement of God upon earth. You walk along, be with the Lord and walk along. So when the descent happened, aspirants and disciples aligned because they are crying for it. If we are aspirants, if we think we are disciples, we have to tune our life in tune with the time. without tuning yourself with the time, what you do is like a blind man moving in a forest. You are not moving in the paths of light. That's where astrology is important. Astrology as a science has great many dimensions. If you understand the working of the planetary lords and then the ones behind in the constellations, and then you go back to Prajapatis, who are clusters of constellations, we move forward to know more and more and associate with the ways in which the light moves. So the aspirants and the disciples, they make a plan how to move, to go through the royal path. It is royal when you are with him. You tend to be a pilgrim when you walk with him. You don't join him, you walk by yourself, you become a prisoner. This is what this story is. With light you move. The light knows the ways. Even through the darkest regions, the light leads you because it is its nature to show you the way and lead you. But then people invoke, and then only the fiery aspirants and the disciples, they associate with it and perform. Without your performing, nothing happens. You have to perform. Perform what? Turn your life into a life of goodwill. If you are here on the planet, it must be worthy. It must be worthy for some people around you. What for are you here? To be worthy of something which the light shows. That is what happens in the solstice. So the aspirants and disciples align to perform. Each year comes with a plan. Each year comes with a plan, and that plan is conceived in Shambhala in Aries. The plan is conceived in Shambhala in Aries. It is further conceived during Vaishak full moon by all the hierarchy. It is given to disciples in the month of Gemini through initiation, be it Pentecost or Maycall or the descent of fiery tongues. All these festivals are descent of the energy into you, into Gemini. Then for the general humanity as such, to all, it's Cancer. It's a gradual descent in 1992 days. These 1992 days is a preparation for disciples from Aries to Cancer, where they get initiated during this solstice. What have we done in the last 90 days? From the beginning of Aries to beginning of Cancer. That gives the alignment. And that lets you realize and then work out a plan up till the end of Scorpio. Because the path thereafter is filled with obstacles. The first thing that happens is we get proud that we are associated. A little association with a master of wisdom, a little association with some good work makes you proud. And then as you step into Leo, the pride comes. The dweller on the threshold for Leo is his own pride. The pride separates and makes him an individual consciousness. He develops localized consciousness and does not integrate so much with the surroundings. Like a lion in the cave, it separates from the rest and then keeps on acting with pride, which is a step of ignorance. As he steps on further into Virgo, he develops a lot of intellect, which is not associated with the light that descended into him up to his heart. Leo brings pride, self-rule, false understanding of freedom. False understanding of freedom. I want to do what I wish to do. You may do, but you will find your own nemesis. If you join a plan which is already there, it leads you with much ease. If you create a plan within a plan, until that plan is resolved, your journey will not progress. The great knowers have experienced and said it, Father, thy will be done, not mine. You wait, you receive the plan, you follow the plan. Then in Leo you can do a lot of good things. Your intellect in Virgo helps, otherwise you develop a peculiar intellect which is self-defeating, full of logic with no explanations. And your intellect and your pride puts you into a vicious circle. And in Libra, we fall into passions and the emotions. How are to overcome? But the same Libra in association with the energy of the soul can unfold the beauty of the creation. Likewise in Scorpio, in association with the solar angel, you can experience the hidden secrets of the creation, which we call the occult dimension. Otherwise, it is full of darkness, decay and death. That's how Scorpio is said. Scorpio is full of darkness, decay and death insofar as you do not relate to light. When you continue to relate to light, there are passages by which you are directly related, not going through the whole zodiacal scheme. These passages are there in every sign. To give those passages only, esoteric spiritual astrology is given by Master here. We need to read, we need to meditate, understand, and try to put them into practice. So when you do not associate with the solar angel in Cancer, you have impediments of localized ego, separated ego. Another impediment, what we call a brain enlargement in the name of intellect, which is a sickness actually. Many intellectuals, they are a problem to themselves. If they don't do anything, they sit in a chair and keep on commenting. You fall into passions of flesh and blood in Libra, and ultimately decay and die in Scorpio. Only from Sagittarius again things move different. So this path, I was explaining this path in the story of Nala and Damayanti. There I explained it as Karkotaka, the snake. The name of this month, Cancer, in Vedic astrology is called Karkataka Rasi. Karkataka. They are not named after the seers. They are named after the phenomena that happens. That's why they are all impersonal. If someone finds some star, a human, with his equipment, he names that star with his name. That is preponderous. But the seers have seen the phenomena and gave that name so that the posterity is benefited by it. A man who locates a comet, he says Halley's comet. What is Halley's comet? Comet existed even before Halley existed. We say Regulus, the man who invented a sun in the sun sign Leo. How can you call him Regulus? He has a name. His name is Makha. What is Makha? You get some idea. Profound knowledge, magus, magic it brings. What is Regulus? It's all man's arrogance that he names the universe according to him. Well, there is already the universe in which he is a small speck. It's all because we think too much about ourselves, not knowing that this earth itself is a mustard seed, and we the humans are most insignificant fellows on this planet. It should be known all the time. Otherwise you only grow, you have a swelling brain, it doesn't help you. It doesn't help you to experience anything. All this can happen if you don't relate to solstice. That's why it is celebrated as a great festival. The Lord who lives in the head, when he comes down to your heart, he is called Guru. Guru means he comes near to you, he guides you from proximity because he has love and compassion for you. You should be humble to receive that knowledge, live by it, and that knowledge is what is available by way of scriptures. So the aspirants and disciples aligned to perform, while humans are tended to be two personalities. The humans, we all know who we are, what we are doing on the planet, what are we to do and what are we doing. It's all our making. Most of our crises are our making only. The cry of the soul is subdued. While he descended, we take it for granted. Our pulsation, our respiration, until it stops, we keep on making our own monkey business everywhere. We feel so great about ourselves and involved in all kind of monkey activity. Monkey means inconsistent activity. No uniform activity, no regular activity. It jumps from one thing to the other, from branch to another branch, then another tree, and then eats a bit of a fruit, throws it away, goes to another tree. That's how monkey behaves. We engage. So what happened? He came, but you don't respect. You cried. Someone cried for you. You may not have cried. It has come. It comes into every heart. So you are engaged in your personality activities, and then the soul's cry, people don't listen here. People don't listen here. That's the whole problem. Why? Because they are busy with their senses. They are busy with their sense objects. They are busy with the outer world so much. Like kinda, like children. The mother calls or the father calls home, but the child is somewhere. Subdued. Not only that, they create their own phantoms. These phantoms are dark personalities emerging from the strong desires that they have in relation to the world. That is what happens. That's how in Leo, not only masters are born, monsters are also born. Know that. It all depends how egoistic you are, or how connected you are. If you are connected, you are in good order. If you are not connected, you can be a disturbance to the creation. See how the governments are unable to help. What are their objectives? We think of inner government consisting of masters of wisdom whom we wish to relate to and be governed by them. Not that we govern ourselves, because we don't know how to govern ourselves. Better be governed by someone who knows. That is in you, in your heart. You can relate to it regularly by relating to respiration and pulsation. When you are able to listen here, half the job is done. Half the job is done when you are able to listen here. Because he descends from Ajna to heart center and teaches you what you have to do, when to do, where to do, how to do, when not to do. So many things from within. He also sends his agents from outside to give you the information, because you may not be able to listen well. That's how the hierarchy is formed. Hierarchy is full of teachers who wish to help those persons who want to help themselves. There is a small part in this humanity who would like to help themselves. Self-help is the best help. So the voice can be heard, or someone who knows when he teaches, you relate to him. Take the discipline and start working with it. That is the best way to overcome the impediment of Leo in you. Then your intellect functions in the right order. It does not get anywhere and everywhere, because intellect is ruled by Mercury. Virgo is the lord of Mercury. Virgo is Mercury. You develop a peculiar mind which doesn't listen to those who know, which does not find solution to himself. He can neither find solution to himself, nor does he let anyone to help you. It's a pathetic situation. This starts even in Cancer. The seed starts even in the last part of Cancer. That's why the last part of Cancer for 10 days or 13 days is notified as the constellation Aslesha. Aslesha, the snake I was speaking about in the story of Nala and Damayanta. The snake is Karkotaka. Karkotaka in the month of Karkataka. It's a difficult situation. Just make note, later you will. So then what happens? you are in a cobweb of your own mind. No one can help you because you deny help coming from above. You deny coming help from the surrounding through a teacher. You develop a mind which is not useful, comfortable to you and not comfortable to others. That's the enigma of man. So the cry of the soul subdued, the phantoms grew, blue turned yellow, yellow turned green, green turned brown. See, the blue that is in the forehead, when it comes to the throat center, it becomes aquamarine. When it comes to heart, it gets into golden yellow. And then thereafter, as it moves in the downward ways, it gets into green and brown. So brown is the color indicated for mundanity. So we are engaged with mundane things. Our understanding also does not grow beyond the mundane. We stop seeing the subtle. All this happens solstice to solstice. Ra and Ma toil with love and compassion. From every solstice to solstice, the father principle and the mother principle want the incarnated souls to find the light, to experience the creation completely and come back and join. But then the humans tended to mundane, breeding, deceit, disease, decay, diabolism and death. That's what we are. That's a major activity the media communicates. If you open the television, if we open the television and look to news, you get depressed. That's why the teachers say, just to see the main headlines, don't get into it. You should know what is happening around, but do not dwell deep into it. Everywhere there is disease, for which the basis is deceit. Deceit, disease, decay, diabolism and death. We have so much of disease, so much of death that is happening these days. Not to speak or get into political areas, there are plethora of vaccinations and many are confused which vaccination is good. God knows. Everywhere confusion is created, fear is created, that is all diabolism. The descent of Ra and the lift of Ma, ever ill-perceived and ill-conceived. We don't perceive what the annual year, which we call the solar angel, moving around the zodiac, what is it that is trying to bring? With what gifts? With what gifts the solar angel every year enters Aries? No one is worried. We are only worried about the Christmas gifts that St. Nicholas brings, isn't it? Some little material packets, some chocolates, some cake, some flowers. Oh, like kindergarten. We rejoice during the Christmas days. Is that what we have to rejoice? Should we not rejoice the presence of Christ in us? And then work out, the more and more you experience the presence of Christ in you, or Krishna in you, or Rama in you, whatever name you give, the divinity in you, you show so much in this creation. Why don't you rejoice those gifts? Why do you look for small gifts that Saint Nicholas gives and make mysterious movies about it? Create a make-believe world and deviate you from the very path. Is it not deceit? The best gift comes when Sun enters Cancer. When Sun leaves Capricorn, you should weep because you can't move along with him. Beyond Capricorn, you can't reach the Sun. It's a different story. When we are to weep, we rejoice. And when we are to really rejoice, we weep. This is our story. This is our story. So the descent of Ram and the descent and the lift up of Ma, ever ill perceived. There is no perception. Only when there is a perception, there can be a conception. Isn't it? When there is a conception, there is a pregnancy. That pregnancy, when you develop for about 9 months, you deliver the baby, which is your rebirth. So much wisdom. Each time when we speak, it comes different. I am speaking for 25 years about solstice. Theme is the same. Presentation changes because every solar angel has his own way of doing things. So therefore, the plan is set in abeyance. The very plan for which he has come, the solar angel realizes, I have come because I have been asked to come. There are prayers done. There are genuine prayers done by disciples. But then what happened? According to Madame Blavatsky, in a century of 100 years, 10 to 12 persons are able to listen. This is pathetic, isn't it? 10 to 12 persons in 100 years, meaning a person in a decade. We are such a difficult students, difficult children. Nevertheless, we have interest in it, so we move on. But then the angel, it realizes by Capricorn, which is the 10th house, what has happened for the year, who comes with him and who does not. All those who come with him, he takes to the 4th quarter, and then the Passover is there. The festivals are differently named, that the movement is the same. Movement is the same. So he knows, okay, the plan did not work this time. And the solar angel returns to his abode. Then again the cry starts. We only know how to cry, that's all. Mostly our prayers are also crying for bread, crying for food, crying for shelter, crying for clothing. We are not willing to go with him. It's a glamour to entertain. Mostly it's a glamour that we entertain. But are we ready? Every person has to decide. The plan set in abeyance, when the plan is not moving on, Kali takes a great advantage of it. The moment you are separated from it here, Kali thinks, this is my future prey. I can eat him, eat his flesh, drink his blood, even eat his bones, and then take the juice of the bone marrow. So many things Kali can do. So therefore Kali comes into play, and then all is in pell-mell. Pell-mell means upside down. Everything is upside down. We cry, it's all upside down, it's all upside down. This creation has no meaning. There are people who write to me. There are all people who are condemned themselves into illogic. We can't bring them out. In everything they see negative only. They don't see anything positive. No one. See, when such a situation arises, man loses trust in his next person. No trust. I don't trust you. I don't expect you to trust me. It is the worst poverty that a human can suffer. Worst poverty, that I don't trust you, you don't trust me. The wealth of the world teacher is trust. I have been saying from so many classes. Be in trust. It's a different thing. Be in doubt. It's a different thing. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, if you fall into doubt, you are perished. You are perished. Have trust in you. The awareness, the pulsating principle, they are day and night helping you. Trust them. They are willing to give you direction, willing to give you knowledge, willing to give you enough intelligence to act. Trust and work. If you find someone else, trust him. Trust is the bridge. And that is broken. Then Kali breaks out. When Kali is at its height, we don't believe each other. We don't believe in each other. See, in a family, no one believes the other. Everyone has a separate bank account. Why separate bank account? Don't you trust? Everything is separate, 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 separate. As much as you separate, so much you are getting away from communion. It's the energetic communion which we speak of in the marriage sacrament. That one consciousness functions through two bodies. One consciousness functions not only through one body, but the body of the other. Vice versa. Such is the trust in hierarchy. Such is the trust that they would like us to adopt to. If you lose by trust, doesn't matter, you gain. By trusting, if you have lost, it's a good riddance. That's why Christ says, if there is deceit, be deceived, he said. If there is a deceit, be deceived. Don't deceive others. You incur tremendous karma. Therefore, we the aspirants retribute, repent, reorient, we align to the soul, redress our personalities, pledge to perform in humility and gratitude, and ensure the work of light and love. Since we all believe that we are aspirants, otherwise you don't relate to this program. We believe that we are aspirants of light. Therefore we have to retribute of what mistakes that we have done, repent, reorient. The reorientation can be a proposal. Unless there is repentance and rectitude, the reorientation will not happen. As we close our eyes, only we see the thoughts relating to the outer world only, not light. So therefore retribution, repentance, they are required. Then align to the soul once again in the solstice. It's a fresh opportunity that we align to the soul again, because we enter into Punarvasu. The sun entering into Punarvasu. Please remember, which happens on the solstice time, thereafter for about 4 days or 3 days to be more specific. So stay aligned between head and heart, reorient, and then make a pledge to perform, not with pride but with humility and with gratitude that you are allowed to perform. That you are allowed to perform, for that you have to be grateful. And ensure the work of light and love. The last stanza is relevant to us. The other stanzas are 1, 2, 3, 4. They represent this story. And again solstice comes next year. And it always comes until the planet is evolved, until the beings are evolved. That is the beauty of the love and compassion of divinity, which we cannot comprehend. It requires a touch of sixth ray along with second ray wisdom. Second and sixth ray wisdom associated with the seventh ray, which brings in the rhythm, that would fulfill. Our job is to recollect to ourselves what exactly the solstice is for us. We perceive it, we conceive it, and we get pregnant with the idea, so that we move on and make progress. And it's not that by the next Capricorn we are all over there, but the effort has to be there. So the story between Cancer and Capricorn is a great story of the humans and a great story of the planet. There are so many details relating to it, but what is permitted by time and what is relevant for us to do, as is given, I transmit it to you. I exceeded the time by 10 minutes. This paper is already circulated to you all. You may go through and then get oriented and reorganize the personality, because we feel we are very important in this society and involved in unnecessary activities. Cut them down. Do what is essentially related to light and move on. It's important that we reorganize. That's why we celebrate. Before the celebration, before celebration. Celebration is only through meditation here. There is no cake cutting, there are no parties, there are no feasts. The feast is also inside. You can just close your eyes. With every inhalation, bring the energies about downwards. With every exhalation, take the energies upwards. That's the whole game. That's the chief key, without which the head is disconnected to the body and all that we do tends to be headless programs. Without head, what is it that you can do? And head by itself cannot do it, can only give you advice. The limbs have to do it, isn't it? Just a head is no good. Just a body is no good. A head that is connected to the body via the neck has a lot of things to perform. We get into it. There is enough time because, according to Master Jwalkul, once you touch upon this wisdom, you have 777 incarnations to fulfill it. Take your time. Let each one of us work out according to our inclination and move forward. Keep the joy with you when you move. Joy is when you have similar people surrounding you. See, if there is a group which has similar views, it's more joyful. Travel is always joyful when we are together. That's where groups are conceived. But I leave it to your choice which way you do it. What is important is connect between bro center, because Ajna is not available to us, to the heart center. We again meet next Saturday to give you some more details in the story of Nala and Damayanti. It's all our story only everywhere in the scriptures. The male-female principles have to come together internally, where there is the relation between the moon and sun happens. That's where the game is, and the soul is realized. The whole teaching is about realizing the soul and the soul functioning through the personality. Solstice is also a story in relation to it. Take it, work it out as much as your personality permits you. Talk to your personality. Tell the personality, please give me freedom for 3 days. I come back to you. Personality is nothing but a part of us only. We only allowed it to grow. It has grown so much. It also developed tails. It doesn't listen to us so much. But when we relate to wisdom, since personality is also an offspring of the soul, it listens, because in core it is that. In the core it is that. Around it's different. I am particularly joyful to have addressed you on the solstice, though we did not travel and we did not meet and made so many arrangements for a seminar. This class is very useful to me, to you, to all those who wish to relate their personality to their soul and then realign to perform during the next 9 months. of which we forget about the last quarter. The most important part is the travel from now on till Capricorn, how we perform. Thank you one and all. Namaskar.